Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Strogan Reactions here. My name's Logan.
My name's Francesco.
And in today's video, we are going to be discussing
games 26, 27, 28, and 29. What an interesting week in Leafland.
Yes, it's a new month. It's December.
Yep.
Well, let's get into the video.
Here we go.
We start with the Winnipeg Jets. And we've seen some injuries in this game,
which we will discuss about after we recap the game.
So in the first period, Pierre-Luc Dubois gets it going at 12th of the season, Wheelers, and Scheifele picking up assists. That's 1-0 on a power play. And the Leafs fight back. They climb back in the later half of the period. Michael Bunting scores his 7th of the year. Michael Bunting, the Toronto native, is the best. He's been great for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Engvall and Ritchie picking up assists. 1-1 also on a power play.
Yeah. And then in the second period, Winnipeg takes back their lead because Andrew Kopp scores his 7th, and Pionk and Schmidt get assists, and that's 1 minute into the second. But no, they're not done there, because Winnipeg is going to extend their lead to 3-1. Evgeny Shvetsnikov, 2nd of the season, assisted by Tony Nato and Harkins. And then, no, they're going to go in the power play. And then they're going to score again. And then it's going to be 4-1 Winnipeg. Because Kyle Connor gets 15th. And Dubois and Wheeler pick up assists. But no, they're not done there. Because Winnipeg is going to go 5-1. And Nikolai Ehlers is going to score his 9th. Kopp and Schmidt are going to pick up assists. Finally, the Leafs answer back. And Austin Matthews gets his 15th of the season. Tavares and Nylander picking up assists on the power play. And also Andre Kasha making the lead by, giving Toronto 3 goals, and that's his 6th of his season. Sandin and Hall picking up assists going into the third period.
And at this point, we just think, oh, we're gonna pull off the comeback of the century, being down 5-1 or whatever.
Leafs fashion.
Typical.
Only 2 goals.
But unfortunately, that does not happen. Mark Scheifele getting a goal here, 6th goal of his season. Kyle Connor getting an assist, and Pionk picking up an assist there. 6-3 on a power play goal. And unfortunately, the Toronto Maple Leafs get in the scum after that.
This third period was a disaster.
It was
this whole game. But a lot of people discussing about the officiating in this game.
Matthews clearly got pugged, and he was.
That's what this picture is. This is a summary of that game. One photo. That's the game.
And Rasmus Sandin goes down hard on a knee-to-knee hit. I mean, whatever, typical Jets, but whatever. And then
this scene right here, both of them drawing penalties. What did Matthews do? The way I saw it is Matthews should have been the only one drawing the penalty.
I mean, he's drawn 0 penalties so far this season, and he still hasn't drawn any penalties whatsoever. Then Spezza comes out like a goon and just darts to somebody and knocks the head off of him, and he goes down, and Spezza gets 6 games, Pionk gets 2.
We'll go through that in the next slide. Let's just fix these stats. So it's 41 shots on goal for the Jets over the Leafs 35. The Jets were 3 for 5 on the power play. The Leafs were 2 for 5 on the power play. 31 penalty minutes for the Leafs, 21 penalty minutes for the Jets. The Jets had 25 hits over the Leafs, 15 hits, and they had 18 blocks over the Leafs, 7 blocks. And look at that beautiful
Look at this. Like, this is bad. For example, Simmons didn't want to stop. He got a misconduct, and then he came back in the game and he fought.
This is the problem. You put a guy in the box, 10 minutes, but when is that at? 7:30. So there's still gonna be like 2 minutes when he gets back off his.
Just send him off. Just send him off.
He's gonna come back and he's gonna get a roughing double-wider.
Oh my god, it was physical, man. It
Clifford dropping gloves too, which I found.
Yeah, and
Dubois freaking
manhandling Matthews because he was just like getting pushed around like he was dancing.
Then Pyong hits knee on knee with Sandin.
Gets 2 games.
2-game suspension for him.
And
Sandin gets injured. But then Spezza's like, no, you're not doing that today. Pyong goes to grab the puck with his hands because he's lost his stick, and Spezza goes right in his face.
And right in his face, he gets 6 games. I mean, I'm not going to argue that is a dangerous hit. That is a hit we are trying to get out of the game. But Pyong, knee on knee. Now we lost Sandin for 2 to 3 weeks. We lost Marner for 3 to 4 weeks.
Which was practice,
3 to 4 weeks, and he's on the IR. Sandin's also on the IR with a knee injury. And Dermott is day-to-day with a shoulder injury, so the injuries are coming to Toronto eventually.
Mrazek finally made a return yesterday. We will get to that recap. And Spezza did appeal his suspension, so now Gary Bettman has to look at it. And if they don't like his,
I think they will stay. I think they will stay.
An arbitrator.
Because at this point,
you already served 3 games. He'll be back December 19th against Seattle. That is. You already served 3 games. It's gonna go by the time it's just whatever. Game 27 against the Blue Jackets came close.
And it shouldn't have, because the Toronto Maple Leafs were leading 5-1. 5-1. Typical Toronto Maple Leafs, 5-1 lead.
That didn't happen once this week. That happened twice this week. Exactly the same.
Okay, let's look into it. Okay, William Nylander scoring 11th of the season. Matthews, Riley picking up assists on a power play. So the power play just keeps on cooking for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And then goal number 2 for Toronto. Austin Matthews getting the goal on this one, 16th of the year. Bunting and Riley picking up assists, 2-0 Toronto.
Wow.
And Nick Ritchie getting on the board here, his first of the year. Thank God. The Demons have finally left his body. Kasha picking up an assist, 3-0 Toronto. At this point, we're just cooking, so let's go into the second period.
Then Oliver Bjorkstrand, 7th of the season, finally breaking the shutout for Columbus, and it happens on the power play. Werenski and Jenner pick up an assist. But then my man, Johnny Tavares, responds with a goal on the power play, assisted by Riley Nylander, his 12th of the season. But no, because the Leafs are going to extend their lead to 5-1, because Austin Matthews is going to score, 17th of the season, and Riley picking up an assist going into the third period.
So, at this point, we're just sitting comfortable. We're waiting for that clock to tick down.
Our goal.
In 20 minutes, it's going to tick down, and we're not going to be able, we're going to breathe soundly. We're not going to have a heart attack this game. But no, Oliver Bjorkstrand scoring on here, 8th of the year. Bean and Hoffman picking up a 6, 5-2. So at this point, we're just like, oh no, this is not going to happen. Good luck, Columbus. And 5-3 because of Sean Courier picking up a goal here. Texier and Robinson picking up assists, 5-3. And I'm at this point like, they're not going to do this, are they? They are going to do this. At this point, we're just panicking. Full leave, and then
1 second.
Max Domi with 1 second to spare. So at this point, we're just breathing soundly. Max Domi, Voracek, and Rostovlik picking up assists. 5-4 finale. Oh my God, that was a stressful game that it needed to be.
And Mr. Soup here.
Mr. Soupy.
A stellar save.
I mean, he's just the greatest, man. He's the greatest.
The stats are 40 shots on goal for the Leafs over the Blue Jackets 32. The Leafs were 2 for 3 on the power play, and the Jackets were 1 for 2 on the power play. 6 penalty minutes for the Jackets, 4 for the Leafs, 18 hits apiece, 20 blocks for the Leafs over the Jackets, 8 blocks, and our record improves to 18-7-2.
Great.
But
And
it doesn't improve.
this is the Tampa Bay Lightning being the Tampa Bay Lightning, of course. So at this point in the season, we start to think, I mean, at this point we're almost third of the way into the season. At this point, you want to know who the Leafs are going to face in the first round if the playoffs were today? Tampa or Florida? Oh, and you think the Toronto Maple Leafs depth, defense can beat the Tampa Bay Lightning? They're not good enough. They're not good enough to beat the Tampa Bay Lightning, and it showed in this game right here. Of course they're not good enough because Andre Kasha gets on the board here. Andre Kasha having the best season possible for the Toronto Maple Leafs. He's the greatest Leaf signing of this year. Greatest. Tavares and Riley picking up assists. Riley's just cooking at this point. Riley's proving why he's deserving of that money that we gave him in the offseason. On a power play goal, no less. And then, shortly after that, Pierre-Edouard Bellemare of the Tampa Bay Lightning scoring his second of the year. Perry picking up assists. That's 1-1 tie. And then Steven Stamkos with his 13th of the year. Killorn picking up an assist. 2-1 Tampa on a power play goal. Then William Nylander scoring on this one, tying the game 2-2 apiece on a power play goal, assisted by Matthews going into the second period.
The game is tied. It's still a lot to go. But no, because this period was garbage. And Andre Palat extending Tampa's lead 3-2, assisted by Stamkos and Radish. And then, no, they're not done there because the guy, Taylor Radish, is going to score his third of the season, and Palat and Stamkos picking up assists. And that
basically the last goal that everybody assisted.
of period 4-2 Tampa.
Yeah, 4-2 Tampa, and at this point it's not going to go good. And Andre Kasha, the best man in the world, proving why the Toronto Maple Leafs gone at this point. Muzzin and Tavares picking up assists. 4-3 Toronto, and we can pull this off. But no, Andre Palat scoring the empty netter. Steven Stamkos and Killorn picking up an assist. 5-3 Tampa, and that is the game.
Well, then the stats are Leafs 38 shots on goal over the Lightning's 27. The Leafs were a perfect 2 for 2 on their power.
Spencer Carberry, thank you so much for managing this power play to God level. Go ahead.
And 1 for 3 power play on the Lightning. The Leafs had 6 penalty minutes. The Lightning had 4 penalty minutes. So this is where teams need to be careful that versus the Leafs. Do not take penalties because they will result in goals. That's what's going to happen when you verse the Leafs. 44 hits for the Lightning over the Leafs 25, and the blocks 15 for the Lightning over the Leafs 9.
Now we go to the last game of the night. Oh.
And
Chicago! Okay, so this is a must win for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Fleury's not in net.
Chicago, at this point, just shoot the puck. Because Marc-Andre Fleury earned his 500 career shutout, 500 career win a couple days ago from this game. And at this point, Lankinen is going to get the start, and Mrazek's going to get the start. So, at this point, all the Leafs need to do is shoot.
Yep.
Just shoot the puck at the goaltender, because he can't save nothing whatsoever. So let's go into the first period. Jonathan Toews, second goal of the year. Why? Johnson and Murphy picking up assists. 1-0 Chicago. Then Tavares getting a goal here. Let's go, Tavares. Let's go, buddy. Matthews and Nylander picking up assists on a power play goal. William Nylander picking up a goal, making it 2-1 Toronto. Tavares and Liljegren. Liljegren is a great prospect. He's done good for the Toronto Maple Leafs, thank God. And after that, the Leafs were not done. The Leafs were still cooking. Austin Matthews, what is he cooking? He's obviously cooking goals. 18th goal of the year. Kasha and Nylander picking up assists. 3-1 Toronto on a power play goal, no less. Okay, this is great. Into the second period.
Your Engvall, Giraffe Man, 4th of the season. Clifford and Steves getting their assists. So
Alex Steves, first point of his year, of his NHL career.
Yep.
Give him that puck. He's the greatest guy.
And it's 4-1 Toronto, but Connor Murphy is going to respond and score his 2nd of the season, assisted by Hagel, and it's 4-2 now Toronto, so they're up by 2.
So they're up by 2. Up by 2. It was originally 4-1. The Toronto Maple Leafs, at this point, we just think, oh, this is not going to end well. It's not going to end well. And if you thought that, it was right. It was right. Because Dominic Kubalik, of course, and Kuresov, don't even know who that guy is. McCabe picking up assists. 4-3 Toronto. Oh, this is not gonna happen, is it? But unfortunately, all the Leafs nightmares come to haunt them. Jake McCabe picking up a goal. Stillman and Carpenter picking up assists for time.
Why?
Why? It was 4-1! Okay. David Camp. Okay.
A lucky bounce.
A lucky bounce by the goaltender. A lucky bounce on the boards. The goaltender goes out to play it. Don't know why. Because there is a saying that Steve Dangle always says. If you're a goaltender, 10 to goal! Okay? If you're a goaltender, 10 to goal. Because you are not a player, you're a goaltender. David Camp proves why. His 2nd goal against his former team, but his 4th goal of the season. Riley and Brody, a lucky bounce, finally.
He goes behind the net thinking he's gonna get the puck behind the net, but he hits off the post, bounces to Camp, and he just takes it like it's an empty netter.
And if you're a goaltender, 10 to goal, you know what I'm saying? That's gonna feature on the Dangets right there.
Yeah.
5-4. Toronto.
And that's the Blackhawks 35 shots on goal over the Leafs 26. The Leafs were 2 for 3 on the power play, continuing to stay red hot, and the Blackhawks were shut down 0-3 on the power play. 6 penalty minutes apiece, 24 hits for the Blackhawks, 18 for the Leafs, and 12 blocks for the Blackhawks. 4 to the Leafs. It's 19-8-2 in the books.
That's great. But now, time to get into some serious business.
We finished the first week of December, first week and a half, whatever, and now we're going to the second half of December here.
It's getting good here. Okay, so
Next week.
14th.
Some interesting start times.
At 9 p.m. Eastern.
That's the road trip.
That's the road trip to...
It's a 4-game road trip out in the west.
Yes. Out in Canada a little bit and out in the west after that. But Edmonton takes on Toronto. If you don't know, Zach Hyman's first game against the Toronto Maple Leafs. And I bet, you should bet, that Zach Hyman is going to get a goal against the Toronto Maple Leafs out of that game. I'm telling you right now, he is going to get it. All former Leafs get a goal against their former team. Might as well just go for it. Go for it.
And that should be an interesting game as well, because then you got David and Matthews head-to-head. People like to find those games interesting.
And Draisaitl.
You got Draisaitl, which is okay, and you got our core four without Marner, unfortunately, but
Marner is out 3 to 6 weeks. So,
I'm excited to see what happens in that game. Then following that, 2 days later, we're going to Calgary at 9 p.m. again, late again. But then 2 days later, on the 18th, 7 p.m., we're going to Vancouver, which is not having a good season. They're one of the teams that fired their coach.
But under Bruce Boudreau, they're 3-0. So under Bruce Boudreau, they are the greatest team in franchise history, I guess you can say. Because they're the greatest team at this point. Like,
we'll see what happens there. Then back-to-back, so that's Saturday Hockey Night in Canada, and then Sunday, 9 p.m., like really, why 9 p.m., man? Seattle, first time versus Seattle this season, not even this season, first time the Toronto Maple Leafs meet the Seattle Kraken in franchise history. This will be a game to remember, and it's going to be in Seattle, so it'll be very interesting to watch.
Jared McCann, a former Leaf, I mean, for like a day and a half. For like a day, like maybe a day of Leaf, you know what I'm saying? But he's gonna get a goal, watch, because it's always Leafs.
Yeah.
And that is it for that week.
And also, we will not be recapping next week because we're getting ready for our new studio, so stay tuned for that. We will be recapping the following week, games 30, 31, 32, 33, and 34. So that also includes St. Louis coming to Toronto for a special
next-gen game. Let's go, next generation game. It's gonna be fun.
2 p.m.
It's almost Christmas break, everybody. Stay safe.
Yeah.
Let's go. It's Christmas break.
It's Christmas. So excited for the holiday season, and stay tuned for that new studio because it's gonna come at the end of the year. We can't wait.
So that's it for today's video, guys. You're gonna like, comment, and subscribe, and please tell all your friends that Andre Kasha is a Toronto Maple Leaf.
Peace.